In this part of the lecture, we'll discuss the factors that influence weight gain and some options for managing it. We'll also talk a little about disordered eating. There are many factors that influence weight gain. Hunger and satiety are biological in nature. Hunger is that gnawing feeling we get when we want to eat dinner. There's a small area in the brain that controls hunger and also satiety, which is the sensation that enough food or beverage has been consumed to satisfy hunger. The hormones ghrelin and leptin also control the relationship between hunger and satiety. Ghrelin, which is secreted mainly by the stomach, stimulates eating behavior. Leptin does the opposite. It reduces hunger and inhibits fat storage in the body. There are some genetic factors that can regulate hunger and satiety as well. If you gain weight easily, you may have inherited what's called a thrifty metabolism. That means your body is more efficient about storing energy. This may be the genetic factor that many of us are sure we inherited, especially if we've had to manage our weight most of our life, as I've had to do. Another genetic factor is called the set point theory. According to this theory, our body's fat content is genetically determined, but we probably shouldn't blame our weight gain on our ancestors, right? Both of these factors are based on theories, and neither of them has been proven to be consistently accurate. Moreover, they are just two of many theories that scientists have worked on for years to try and figure out why some people seem to lose weight easily and others can't seem to lose weight at all. There's also research on what are called environmental influences. These influence our appetite and our desire to eat. Some of us, myself included, may smell cookies baking or see a candy dish on the counter filled with chocolate, and immediately we want to eat either the candy or eat the cookies. Just seeing the food seems to increase our appetite. Food advertising is another aspect of the environment that has a powerful influence on our food choices. How often do we see a TV ad for pizza and we want to order one right away? The advertisers know this. I'm sure you've noticed that the pizza ads are during sports events or during shows that come on at traditional meal times. Where we live can determine whether or not we choose to be physically active, and in turn can determine how easy it is to gain or lose weight. Maybe we live in an area where it's not possible to find a safe place to walk, go for a run, or even get outside for a game of pickup basketball. If we have trouble being physically active, there's a good chance we'll have more trouble managing our weight. There are no quick cures for obesity or for being overweight. Despite what is advertised on social media, there's no particular weight loss diet or special food that has a quote-unquote metabolic advantage. For a weight loss plan to be successful, it needs to be medically sound and may not really be very exciting. Really quick weight loss usually doesn't pay off once you've returned to your usual eating habits. Whether you're interested in achieving a lower or perhaps a higher weight, it takes a fairly long time to achieve your goal. You also need to include in that plan a few foods that you really like, even if they're not on any diet plan anywhere. Think McDonald's French fries. Including a small serving of those French fries can make all the difference in whether or not you're going to stick to this plan. It helps you feel less like you are depriving yourself, and that's really important. This slide shows us a list of what should be included in a good weight loss or weight gain diet. This list is also on page 293 in your text. Note the last item is can be followed for a lifetime. That's important if you're going to stick to it. When it comes to weight loss, I think the most important factors for success are motivation and commitment. Making lifestyle changes that include focusing on diet and physical activity are important too. You might want to get some outside help from a registered dietitian or some other medical professional who is knowledgeable about nutrition and how to diet successfully. Any plan you decide on needs to include physical activity. You may not think you look good enough to go to an organized exercise class. Try to get past that. Remember that everyone in that class is just trying to do their best, and they all started somewhere too. You can also start exercising at home. There are lots of videos on YouTube and social media that are developed for where you are when you first start exercising, no matter how large or how small you are. Changing behaviors about eating and exercise is probably more important than how our body's metabolism works. It begins with thinking about what you eat every day and doing a little planning ahead for meals. We are all very busy, but a few minutes' time dedicated to this activity can go a long way. Social support and changing negative thought patterns are very important as well. Sometimes we need help from others to get ourselves out of a funk. Talking to others can really help with that. Maybe you can join a chat group on weight management. If anyone needs help in locating a good and helpful chat group, I'd be happy to help you. As we know, there are a variety of medical treatments for weight loss and obesity. They include medication and bariatric surgery. These treatments cannot be done without a medical doctor to assist you. If you need more information about these types of treatments, read section 10.3 in your text carefully. Then, visit your medical doctor for further assistance. He or she will refer you to a specialist. One note of caution: bariatric surgery can be very challenging to manage, both during and afterward. Be careful you get the right kind of assistance if you plan to do this. I think we all know what a fad diet is. There have been fad diet plans around forever. Note the advertisement on the slide. It's from over 100 years ago. Fad diets come and go, and then they come back again. It's best to avoid them. This slide provides a good list of what to watch when analyzing advertising related to weight loss. The Federal Trade Commission is a reliable organization. In every introductory nutrition class I've ever taught, we've always spent a lot of time on how to lose weight, but there are many people who need to gain weight. An underweight person has a BMI that's less than 18.5. To gain weight, underweight adults should work to gradually increase their consumption of calorie-dense foods, especially those that contain healthy fats, such as salmon, tuna, olives, nut butters, avocados, and smoothies made with healthy fats and carbs. These folks also need to stick to a regular meal and snack plan. Oftentimes, people who need to gain weight just forget to eat. It's truly not a priority for them. Physical activity is important too, because of its role in building and maintaining muscle tone. They should keep in mind that muscle weighs more than fat. Disordered eating is a topic that we don't talk to one another about. It's often kept in secret by those who suffer and by others who know someone who suffers. Disordered eating does not begin as a nutrition problem. Rather, it's a psychological disturbance that can lead to serious health and nutrition problems if those problems are not addressed. We know that emotional problems are not readily talked about. We've seen this recently with the rise of depression and suicide among teens and young people. So it's no wonder that disordered eating is often kept secret. There's no known cause for disordered eating, but there are risk factors that are often linked to this condition. Females are more likely to develop disordered eating than males, but there is a growing number of men who are also affected. Many times, there's a history of frequent dieting to control weight. There may also be a history of poor self-image and low self-esteem. Sometimes there's a close relative who has an eating disorder, but no one in the family is aware. We usually think of people who suffer from disordered eating as being very, very thin. However, there are many people who appear to be at normal weight, but that suffer from what is defined as bulimia nervosa. Serious health problems can occur if a person with this condition is afraid to seek help. The very, very thin are usually classified as having anorexia nervosa, which, if not controlled, can ultimately result in severe malnutrition and eventually death. But new research is showing that anorexia nervosa is present in some of the very obese. While it is not obvious, they too can be severely lacking in essential nutrients and also be suffering from malnutrition. Athletes, especially females who participate in appearance-based competitive sports that require low body mass, such as gymnastics, swimming, figure skating, and track, are also at risk of reducing their energy intakes to health-threatening lows. The female athlete triad presents in someone with low energy intake, abnormal menstrual periods, and bone mineral regularities. In the case of any type of disordered eating, a key goal of therapy is for clients to achieve and maintain healthy BMIs without unhealthy practices. Cognitive behavior therapy teaches clients ways to monitor their eating behavior and change their eating habits. In many cases, it's important to involve family members to help the person with their condition. Professional help is sometimes available at student health centers and student guidance counseling facilities on college campuses. These services can help refer the client to someone who is an expert in the area of disordered eating. There are websites that may be of assistance as well. The National Association of Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders is one, and another is the National Eating Disorders Association. I always wish the best to anyone who suffers in silence about this condition. If it's you, please be brave and get help. If you need assistance, talk to someone you trust. I can also help steer you to the right people. See you later for the next lecture.